We accept what we are, what we have, what we're doing in the moment, and then we are grateful for it. And then we celebrate it. And when we do that, we move forward. Okay, that's my little cup of wisdom for today. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Goodbye. Hi, and welcome to Cup of Wisdom with Tricia. It's Saturday. Today I didn't know what I was going to talk about. Sometimes it comes to me and I know, and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm kind of late today bringing it to you. I thought maybe I would talk about my Joy Affinity cards. And then I thought, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because I don't want you to think I'm just trying to sell something to you. And I'm not. What I'm trying to do is share something with you. And because I didn't know what to talk about today, I decided to talk about whatever came up in the cards. So here are the cards. And I decided to pick 10 cards and see what showed up. So here's what showed up today for me to think about and to share with you. The first one was Rules of Energy. And it says, flow requires time and space. So in order to go from point A to point B, for flow to happen, there has to be a length. There has to be space between A and B for it to flow and for it to happen. In order for space to exist, there has to be time. So time and space have to exist in order for flow to happen. So that's kind of a rule of energy. The next one was also a rule of energy. And this one says, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It is eternal. And that's kind of a common rule of energy. So energy exists. It goes from one state to another. It goes from one element to another. It can't really be destroyed. It just changes shape and density and frequency. It just changes. So it doesn't ever get destroyed. It's eternal. And that's just a rule of energy. The next one I drew is also energy. Energy will not be contained. You can't keep it in. You can't make it stay. It has to flow. It has to go from point A to point B. It has to come on through us as energy beings. We can't contain it. Nothing can contain energy. It has to flow. When we try to contain it, or we have blocks to it, that's when disease happens, or that's when we get sluggish, or that's when we get sort of unhealthy, because energy has to flow through us. And our blocks to that flowing is what causes us all sorts of problems. Sometimes that block is in anger, sometimes it's hatred, usually it's fear-based in some way. And those are blocks to energy flowing, whereas joy and love and the higher energy frequencies are not blocks. Although it is possible to have too much celebration in your life, that can be exhausting. So we can block our energy, and it seems like we're containing it. We're just blocking it from flowing through. And we need to allow it to flow. We need to let go of those blocks or blast those blocks out of us so that the energy can flow through us. Oh, and one more rule of energy card. And this one says, Energy is inside of matter and outside of matter at the same time. So energy is in everything, and it is everywhere. It's everywhere, and it's coming on, and it's moving, and it's flowing, and it contracts, and it contracts, and it contracts, and it contracts, and until it becomes our physical body, or it becomes this computer, or it becomes this table. It's contracted. It's densified. It's slowed down, as opposed to the higher frequencies which just go on through us. So energy is both outside us and inside us at the same time. And I like to do an exercise that I call inside-outside. And I look outside, and actually I'm flowing my energy out, and then I pull it back in, and I'm inside. I'm inside of me. And I'm outside, and I'm inside. And I'm outside, and I'm inside. Try this with me. Focus outside. Now bring yourself inside. And every time you are outside, remember to pull that back to you. When you talk to someone, you leave a piece of your energy attached to them. You want to pull that energy back in. Otherwise, you're scattered and you're all everywhere. And you need your energy inside of you. When you're working on a project, you're attached to the project. You need to bring that back to you when you're done. One way to do that is to say, all my energies come back to me, clean, free, and abundant. All my energies come back to me, clean, free, and abundant. So all my energies are back to me, and I'm not attached to something outside. I can go outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, until there's no difference between the inside and the outside. And why would you want that? Just so that you can experience what unity is. The next card that I drew was unity. There. All paths lead to the center. So which path is yours? So I see sort of life as a big wheel. And there's the round part of the wheel, and then there's the spokes coming in. And each spoke is an energy. And I've outlined about 32, 33 energies. Peace, love, joy, beauty, harmony, grace, communication, abundance, gratitude, magic, bliss, truth, divine perfection, co-creation, the power, the glory, the magnificence, the magnitude, the breath-carrying, freedom, laughter, intent, presence, purpose, awareness, wisdom, and wonder. And I've recently added easy and wholeness to that list. Each one of those is a path. My path happens to be joy. I love joy. Your path might be peace or bliss or harmony or communication or grace, particularly if you're an athlete or a yoga teacher. That might be grace is your path. So we each have a path, and when we walk that path, we go up the wheel into the center. The center is what I call 0 point, or some people call that love. And as we approach, then all the energies become more similar and more similar and more similar until you are in the space of 0 point, which is really zero anything, any name, any label. And so we each have a path, and I wonder what path is yours. Mine is joy. I drew another card, another unity card. This card says, soften and allow the path. So we need to, instead of holding on to that focus that is out there that we just looked at, we need to soften, pull ourselves in, and allow our path, allow whatever our path is to be our path. The next card I drew was a Joyfinity card. And it says, the solution isn't fighting back. Open up your heart and bring consciousness to the table. So not only soften, but bring consciousness to your softening. Bring consciousness to your path and walking your path. Transmuting, this was the next card that I drew. Fighting and anger is a lack of self-love. So when we don't love ourselves, sometimes we strike out in anger. We think, oh, well, it's that other person. It really isn't. It's us. And when we lack loving ourselves, then we strike out. We have anger. And we fight back. The last card that I drew is pure energy, it's called. In the moment, we have everything we need to move forward. So this is really a part of my whole Joyfinity thing.